Hello and welcome back to Crowing FPV. So in this episode, I originally planned to do 2 reviews of the same quad with different specs. So, and that would be these guys. These are the BetaFPV Beta95x version 3. This one's analog, this one's digital. It's not your normal digital though. Instead of doing DJI digital, I ended up doing Shark Byte. And everything was working great on it, except when I was building my Cloud 149, I was running into an issue where the VTX was not sending OSD to my goggles. So, I tried it on 3 different flight controllers, and same issue. Everything was hooked up right, and that was my microphone transmitter. So, where was I? Yes. So, everything was set up right. Everything was wired in properly, not improperly. Everything was set up software-wise, and Betaflight was put in there properly. The CLI commands were done, and it still would not send OSD on any of those flight controllers to my goggles. So the only other thing I had left was I ended up contacting GetFPV, and they recommended that I turn around and update the firmware. However, I have it here somewhere. There it is. They didn't ship them, or some of them weren't shipped with the cable. I'm on focus. Focus, right here. There we go. They didn't ship with this little 7-pin cable. So I got a hold of GetFPV, and 2 days later, it was in the mail, which was fantastic. Great service. GetFPV, Race Day Quads, they're amazing, amazing companies. So I went to upgrade it, plugged the cable into my goggles, and with hardly any force whatsoever, the plug, the upgrade port plug, snapped right off inside the goggles. So this is my goggles now, as they sit currently. Let me show you. There it is. Right there is the upgrade port, and that is what busted off. I went ahead and tried to fix it by resoldering it, but it's still not working. So I'm either going to have to buy a new set, or hopefully they will get back to me and tell me that they can send me one of these, which of course I'm happy to pay for. Alright, so this video is just going to be a review on this little guy. And this is the analog version, and it's fantastic. I absolutely love it. I think it's the best thing since sliced bread. I have been flying it for a while now. I had it set up with a different setup on this one. I was running a different all-in-one flight controller and ESC, and it just wasn't very good. So I swapped it out with pretty much the exact same thing that comes with them stock. I used the BetaFPV, what is it, the F405 20 amp all-in-one, and it runs great. I mean, it's a very, very good all-in-one flight controller. Alright, so with this episode, I am going to show you the build and like a fast, a speed ramped version of me building this, just so you can see kind of everything that went into building this up, even though I'm not flying this one today. So the analog version, it's $189. I purchased it on on race day quads, and it's got a BetaFPV FPV camera. It's got a BetaFPV 350 milliwatt VTX. It's their antenna there. I mean, there's nothing crazy about it, but it is very, very well built and put together very well. So all I had to do was just bind my controller to it, and I'm off. I'm up in the air. I did do some little alterations to it. Actually, one really alteration, and I'll show you over here on this one. If you look right here, they have these little silicone, I don't know what you would call them. They're kind of a bushing, and they just fit into these round holes, and that's it. There's nothing else holding them on. That's what holds the camera, and that's what holds that camera to the frame. And I did a small little semi-crash, little kind of hard landing, and the whole camera came off and rolled away. Thankfully nothing was damaged on it, but I realized I needed to do something to try and secure these on. So if you look here, I put some zip ties through the holes into all the way down and around. I didn't do all three of them just because I really couldn't get access inside on this one here. But I think that will hold it. If you look at like the Pavo 30, the Pavo 30 has kind of the same setup, but they have these screws and washers going through that kind of compress it and secure it in better. And I'll probably just run to the hardware store and get some of the same thing and just put it through there and hold them on. It's a better setup. I would definitely recommend doing that. Another thing, and this is actually more with the camera itself. So the camera, which by the way is an amazing camera. So the camera, as you see here, I have it set at this angle here. This is your FPV camera right here. I think there you go. Your FPV camera is right here. When this hits something, you come down for a landing, this very, very easily pushes forward and hits your FPV camera. Earlier today I came in for a quick landing because I forgot to hit the record button on here, and when I got up in the air and I was flying, my FPV camera was sitting straight, so I had no up tilt whatsoever, and I couldn't fly very fast. So that's just something to think about when using these. You just got to be a little bit more careful. I haven't used like a hard mount. I've just been using these bushings because I do like the idea of dampening the vibrations to the camera. I think that's a great idea. So as of right now, I'm just going to stick with using those bushings. So I'm going to move on to doing the fast forward build video, and then get into some flight video of this and me out in the field with some commentary. So before we go any further, I do want to make one thing clear. None of the equipment, none of the quads, none of the cameras, nothing has been given to me. Everything has been purchased by me and by me only. So without further ado, let's get to the footage. Okay, so I'm out here at the park, and it's a really, really windy day. You're probably going to hear the the wind in the microphone, so I apologize about that. There's not a whole lot I could do about that. Well, here, I'll just show you. I mean, if you look over there, you can just, I don't know how well you're seeing it on this, but it's really windy. Okay, so today is like really windy. I get it up in the air just a little bit higher above like the trees there, and it's just getting buffeted around like crazy. Is what it is. Still better than doing nothing. I was trying to fly through the dugouts, trying to line up to get in there, but even the wind down there is just kind of moving me around. You'll see at times I'm like sitting there like this, or like this, like just drifting in the wind. But other than that, it flies great. Okay, so don't laugh at me or whatever, but I'm using a zip tie. I left my straps at home. Go figure, right? Anyway, I'm plugging into, the reason why this is here is I'm plugging into Betaflight because I want to restore it back to default. So I was using a different build, and I just want to see the difference. So that's the reason why I have this thing here. So. Okay, so what did you think? Did you like what you saw? I know I did. I had fun with it. I have fun with this quad, with this Cinewhoop. So this is coming up to the conclusion of today's video, and I just got to say that this really is probably my favorite little quad. I don't do a lot, as I've said before. I do not do a lot with freestyle. None of the flippity dippity or anything like that. No flippy floppy. I like that nice smooth cinematic view. That's what I like. I am tempted though to do a freestyle. I do have a 5-inch, but I didn't build that. I didn't even buy it new. It was actually secondhand. But I'm not going to do a review on that because it's everything's outdated on it. It's old. I don't even really fly it. So I might actually someday soon build like maybe a 3-inch or a 3.5 or a 3-inch or like a 4-inch, maybe a 5-inch freestyle. So might be fun to do. I do want to, before we go, I do want to give a shout out to Race Day Quads and Get FPV. Those guys did absolutely amazing. Their support is just incredible. I mean, they're so good, both of them. I don't know who's better. I really don't. I love both of them just the same. They both have an amazing business, and they do an amazing job. When I sit there on a Saturday during Labor Day weekend, and I send an email to support, and they get back to me within half an hour, that's pretty incredible. So I was having an issue with my SML 4K, where it wouldn't allow me to connect to the Wi-Fi. I emailed them on Saturday. This is Race Day Quads on this one. I emailed them on Saturday, and half an hour later I had a response sitting there telling me that they're going to get back to me within a day or two, and that they've already emailed or contacted the manufacturer with the problem. A day later, I had to fix. So again, got to give it up to Race Day Quads, and I got to give it up to Get FPV. So again, click that subscribe button, hit that bell, and I will see you in the next episode.